In this video, we will highlight the visitor management features built into Connect One. One of the main benefits of the built-in visitor management is that now you can have one interface to manage both permanent and temporary users. And as the visitors check in and out, the activity can be reviewed in one place as well as maintaining one list for mustering in case of an emergency. We will begin the video with the assumption that the desired visitor parameters have already been configured, and we're at the point of where we need to add a new visitor. So the current screen that I'm on is viewing all users, and to create a visitor, we would just go to create a new user. To begin adding, the only required fields are the name, the user profile, and you could have multiple user profiles if you require different visitor configurations. And then a contact address, which could be a phone number or email address. And that's how the visitor will get a link for self-check-in. So I'm going to put in the person's name and select the user profile, which we already have a profile created called visitor. And then we could put in their email address. And then there are additional options that can be used for custom fields to store additional information. The a application login could be configured. A case of that would be if you want them to use a mobile credential to access the building. We have a mobile credential called ScanPass, which can be used. And then optionally, you can also set activation and expiration dates, which is helpful if you are assigning a credential for their use for access, so that that access card is only valid during certain date ranges. And then you'll select the host that should get notified when that visitor checks in. And I'm actually select this person and save. Now, once that visitor is created, they will receive a self-check-in link, again, via their email or text message, and can also show that here by clicking on that option. So once the visitor gets their link and they click on it, this is the screen that they will see. The first step is for the visitor to complete a safe passage form. And the safe passage is optional and completely custom to provide whatever requirements you need, including health-related questions, legal waivers, and really anything else that you want the visitor to provide or approve. It may also include capturing the person's image via their camera on their phone and also a signature. All of it, including the questions they answer, will be stored in a PDF under their user account in the application. So it's always reviewable and archived there. If you choose to require their image to be captured, that image it will be associated with their account in Connect One. So anytime there's any activity by the visitor, their image will pop up next to it, which can be especially helpful if you have a guard that's monitoring activity. And then also it can be used for their badge to be printed out if you are using badging features. So in this case, we have an NDA that we'd like them to approve. There's a question here regarding if to confirm that they completed the necessary training, and then they can fill in what is the purpose of their visit. And they can type in whatever they want in that box, and then they sign this. And accept it. So once they complete the safe passage authorization, which is what we just did, then buttons will appear to check in and check out. If the visitor configuration that was set up provides a site list, then to check in, then they will select where they are, which is what this option is. So we can say, let's say we're at the plant building. They can add an optional message to be sent to the host once they check in. Tells them that they arrived and what their message is, such as, I'm in the front lobby, and press check-in. So it's telling us that the message was successfully sent to their host, and it's reminding us to check in and check out on each visit. So we're now checked in. Our host was notified, and that basically completes that process. Once their visit is complete, they go back to that same link, which is what we're showing on the screen here still, and they press checkout. So now we just go to checkout. And again, this is all done from their own device. So it makes it very cost effective. You don't need anything on site, as well as convenient for the visitors. If they happen to forget to check out, this can be done manually on their behalf under their account, or whenever their user account is deactivated, which might be automatic if you specified an expiration date when you created the visitor, or if the visitor is deleted, then the application will check them out automatically. When they are checked out, they are automatically removed from the muster list since they are no longer in the facility. So that's the day in the life of a visitor. Just want to show now some of the options when you have visitors created. So you can see them all in the same place along with all the other users. You can also choose to show only visitors. So if we do that, then only our visitors will appear, so we can easily filter by that. We could check to see which visitors have not checked in yet, which haven't checked out. So we could go back and check them out if necessary, if they forgot, and some other options as well, which can also be sent out through automated reports too. You can see all the timestamps that are logged when they checked in, checked out. So it's full audit trail of everything. If you need to review the archived PDFs, you can do so, which will show all the questions that they answered, including their signature. So there it is right there. So if everything's archived for review. And now I'd like to show the visitor configuration, which is what we skipped over in the beginning, and how it can be modified if necessary. So let's begin with the safe passage profile, since that is the majority of what makes up a visitor. So I'm clicking on the one we already created. You can see that you can choose whether or not you want them to capture their picture, again, from their own device, making it very simple. There can be a required reapproval interval. So they could either require it just one time, or you can set it up that maybe every week they have to redo the questionnaire, or maybe just once a year, whatever is required really. There can be additional checkpoints that are required, such as for temperature scanning, and if they fail to pass that checkpoint, then management can be notified. The messages that you want to appear for instructions of how to go about the process, what messages you want to show when they're approved or declined. If they don't, they'd be declined if they don't answer the questions that you provided properly, such as they decline to approve the NDA or they haven't completed the training. Again, these questions are entirely custom. You could have no questions if you want, or you could have up to 15 different questions that they have to go through, which again can be health related, legal wise, just optional messages such as the purpose of their visit. You make this however is appropriate in your situation. So that's the safe passage template. And then their user profile is where it's all applied. So if we go to our visitor profile, now most of these options are not required if you're not providing a login to the application for them, so we can skip right past them. And we go to the safe passage template. So this is where you can apply the template you want for the visitors. You could select multiple templates if required. Most of the time though, just one is selected. Um, and then the required option here is to enable that the users assigned to this profile are indeed visitors. And that's what provides the check-in and check-out option that they see. That's what logs all the check-in and check-out, and also provides the filtering options so that you can view just visitors in the application if required. And then you can set the areas or sites that you want to show when the person goes to the check-in. So when they go to check-in, they can select where they are. If you don't want to provide them a choice, then you can have multiple profiles, each profile being just one location. And then when they check in, it just automatically puts them in that location so they can skip that step. All depends on how you want to configure it. And then I mentioned earlier about the badging. So you can have custom badge templates, and I created one here just with a big word visitor at the top. And their badge can be printed out to just a sticker if you want to do something temporary, or a real badge card if required as well. So thank you for your interest in Connect One's visitor management features. But before we finish, um, if you're using a separate visitor management platform, then you might be interested in Connect One's user API, which has webhook integration methods to sync visitors from the external system into Connect One, which would be used for tracking purposes in the reporting, as well as managing their system code or access card into the control panel on site. So there are options if you're using an external platform as well. But again, thank you for viewing the visitor management features.